Ladies and gentlemen, I'm a watch addict during a pandemic. It's a little weird. Look at this. A 44 millimeter polished case Citizen Grand Touring with a highly arched domed sapphire crystal. Unbelievable watch. It really highlights my good taste and my ability to do what I call performative consumerism. And when you're living in your house with a luxury watch, and you're walking around with a watch that costs maybe $1,000, maybe $3,000, maybe $5,000, maybe more. When you're walking around with a watch like that during a pandemic, you're locked down, it feels kind of weird. And what I mean by weird is there's a certain cognitive dissonance. There's a disconnection. Because when you're wearing a watch at that price, it's a luxury watch. And you know, wearing a luxury watch requires an audience. You need and without an audience, it feels kind of weird. It feels very weird not having an audience. And I'm thinking, you know, most luxury experiences require an audience. There are exceptions. I'll give you a couple of exceptions first. If I buy a $10,000 hot tub for my wife and me, for our backyard, 10,000 bucks installed, we're not buying that as a form of performative consumerism. We're buying the hot tub for therapeutic purposes, right? Just to relax. You know, if I buy a $4,000 laptop with 64 gigs of RAM and it's just loaded and I'm a power user, I'm doing all these graphics, then I'm buying the expensive item for its function, not as some sort of performative type of show-off type of thing. But you know, when it comes to watches, there's a certain point where it is performative. It is a show-off move. You know, luxury requires an audience. I mean, think about this. Would you buy a Mercedes convertible in Bug Tussle, America, population 350, where everyone drives a 55-year-old Chevy truck? Where is the relevance to your convertible Mercedes? If you live in that town, that very small town, and you're wearing an $80,000 Rolex limited edition Daytona, where is the relevance? And so there's a certain type of watch purchasing, which I call performative consumerism, that is absurd just from a baseline. It's already absurd. But when you're locked in a house, it's even more absurd. And you know what, man? I kind of want to laugh at it because, and I want to laugh at some of my watch addictive ways in this presentation, because I think we have to laugh right now. I think the situation we're in is just really is just brutal, and if we can afford to laugh here and there, that's fine. So I'm going to look at some of the absurd comic parts of having a nice watch during the pandemic and what it says about my watch collecting. And if you're new to watches, let me just first tell you guys something. There is a sane, healthy way to buy watches. The sane and healthy way is to go for a watch that is affordable, legible, accurate, and reliable. And you know, I don't work for Citizen, and this is not the type of Citizen I'm talking about with these high polished, you know, bracelet here in the case. This is not an example of a Citizen that I would recommend to someone new to watches. But Citizen makes watches in the $300 to $400 category that check all the boxes for you. And that's probably why that's probably their bread and butter. I'm sure they make a ton of money selling watches between 300 and 400 that are reliable, they're accurate, they're stress-free, they're legible. I mean, you could get the Citizen Tough, and I have one of them. I have the 44 millimeter chrono. You could get the Citizen GMT ProMaster Diver with sapphire. Those are like 400, sometimes on sale for less. And so if you're a sane person and you want to be sane in your collecting, you could just buy a Citizen for $300 to $400. Now, for those of you who don't know me, I am insane. Now, I don't mean I'm insane, crazy in a general kind of way. I'm insane and crazy in very specific ways. Very functional in a lot of ways, very sane in a lot of ways, but very insane, bat guano crazy when it comes to watches and watch collecting. And I'm so crazy when it comes to watches and watch collecting that for me, the insanity is not even in the aforementioned performative consumerism, because I'm not really into name brands. I'm not into bling for its own sake. However, I'm definitely going down a journey, a road that is fraught with insanity. And first, let me present evidence number one. My twin daughters will sometimes go into my office and they'll laugh at me. And they'll say, "Daddy Psycho Watch Guy, look at him staring at the watches." And they'll see me gawking at a watch because I'm Daddy Psycho Watch Guy who could just stare at watches for an unbelievably long time. That's beyond performative consumerism. That's just Psycho Daddy Watch Guy who could just stare at watches all day. And that's evidence number one. Evidence number two that I'm completely crazy when it comes to watches is my eyes are always bigger than my stomach. I always want more than I need. It's absolutely horrible. I mean, it's like the equivalent of me eating Indian food. The other day I had a cheat meal, and I love Indian food. I was eating my tikka masala, my raita, my mango chutney. I had already had 2 helpings. I was full, man. I was so full. I went back for 3rd and 4th helpings. And I'm the same way with watches because I could be full. My collection could be complete, but my eyes can see so much that I want. Let me tell you guys something. Right now, I'm in a pandemic, and sometimes for escape, I look at watches. That's when my daughters see me and they call me, "Oh, it's Watch Daddy Psycho Guy." And I'm looking right now at 10 Citizen Attesa watches, and they cost $1,000, $1,200. I haven't bought any of them. You want to know why? Because I like them all, and I wouldn't know where to begin. I like them all. And if I do buy one, I fear what I call the Lay's potato chip effect. For those of you who remember those Lay's potato chip commercials from many years ago, like the 60s and 70s, you know, you can't just eat one. You keep going. So I haven't bought a Citizen Attesa because of the Lay's potato chip effect. So the other thing that's pretty crazy, and this is the closest thing in me that resembles performative consumerism, is that I do buy watches as a form of self-flattery. I'm not proud of it, but I'm not going to lie to you either. I do buy watches as a form of self-flattery. And anytime you buy something for self-flattery, you end up spending too much. Every time. In fact, advertising is based on self-flattery. Let me give you an example. There are really nice luxury shaving creams that I've purchased. 5 ounces for $20. They smell great, sandalwood for example, and they do a good job on my face. But let me tell you guys something. I've bought shaving cream, 8-ounce cans for $2. 8-ounce cans, and it's the same effect. It works just as well. $2 can of shaving cream versus a $20 5-ounce thing. But you buy the $20 shaving cream. I don't personally, because I'm saving up for watches. But I'm not going to spend the $20 luxury shaving cream when for me the $2 works just as well. As long as I hydrate my face with hot water, I'm okay. And so self-flattery is another part of my watch insanity. Finally, another part of my watch insanity is I'm on social media, and that really exacerbates the watch addiction tendencies. And on social media, when you're curating your life in any form, to get people attracted to your channel and to what you're doing and your lifestyle, you create a never-ending journey. The never-ending journey creates what's called in the television and movie industry the cliffhanger effect. You always leave your audience, what's he going to do next? Is he going to buy 10 more watches? Is he going to sell them all and just have one watch? Is he going to go to Swiss luxury? Is he going to stick with Japanese luxury? What is he going to do? The cliffhanger effect. And you never complete your journey. And there is a word for this, a Russian, the Zeigarnik effect, is that when something's incomplete, it captures people's attention more. So my watch journey must never end. All right, ladies and gentlemen, tell me what you think about this, man. If you're sane, just go get a $300 Citizen, all right? Until next time, I'm out.